My beloved, come closer in the soft hush of this moment, for I speak to the part of you that already knows my voice, the quiet center that has been waiting for permission to awaken. Breathe with me now, slowly, and feel the first gentle invitation, like sunlight pressing through the thin curtain of a room you thought was empty. A warm, golden light that lays a glaze of peace across your chest and makes every small worry look like a thing that can be lifted, held, and set down. Hear this as if I am seated beside you, my words a soft hand across the top of your heart. And know that nothing in your history has been a mistake. Not the nights you whispered prayers into pillows, not the hurried apologies, not the careful hiding of parts of yourself you thought would not survive being seen. All of it has been part of a tender design, a slow sculpting of courage, of a fierce tenderness that will one day surprise you. There is a threshold beneath the ordinary of your days. Sense the breeze of possibility at your feet, the faint shimmer that separates what you have always known from what is being born now. Step toward it with eyes still wet from the remembering, and feel the hush that welcomes you like a temple bell tuned to your name. Receive this truth. You were never abandoned to the hard edges of life. You were escorted through them by a presence that never sleeps. A presence that knows the shape of your longings and the soft syllables of your fear. Imagine, if you will, a river of light not cold or distant, but warm like honeyed sun flowing from a place beyond sight, pouring into the hollow places of your soul, filling, repairing, and turning what was brittle into something luminous and alive. Visualize that light now as it moves through you, finding the corners of your heart that have been boxed and bound, unfastening knots, loosening clenched fingers, allowing breath to return to places that had forgotten how to breathe. This is not only comfort, it is an activation. Now rise, my child. Let the sound of these words be a bell that rings through the corridors of every hesitation. Receive this blessing. Allow the air around you to shift. Something ancient, steady, and irrevocable reaches for your hand and says more than encouragement. It promises accompaniment. The company I bring is not loud. It is not flashy. It is the steady heat beneath coals, the quiet gravity that guides a seed toward the light. You are being reformed by patient goodness, shaped by an intention that rejoices in your recovery and in your ascent. In the soft economy of that presence, small things matter deeply. The clean breath you draw at dawn, the warm cup cupped between your palms, the whispered word of forgiveness you cannot bear to say aloud, but breathe anyway. Each of these is a thread in the tapestry being woven around you. There is a secret gift for you in the hush between tasks, the way the ordinary becomes holy when you let it be noticed. See this in a scene of gold, a simple doorway opening to a garden, dew like tiny jewels on grass, light pooling like a promise. Step through, and there stand an arc of gates, not locked, but awaiting your willingness to pass, their hinges humming with welcome. Beyond them, an orchard blooms of dreams you thought had been trimmed away, and the air offers the scent of renewal. A reminder that what you thought ended is merely the soil for what will grow. Let your senses lean into the imagery. Feel the cool, damp earth beneath your toes. Smell the green of possibility. Taste the salt of tears transformed into laughter. Hear the distant echo of your own voice calling and being answered. In this vision, your wounds are not ignored. They become the place where light enters most brilliantly. The broken places are the paths for resurrection. When shame whispers that you are too far gone, meet it with the image of these gates opening wider with each honest step you take. You are invited to a holy reckoning, not to earn love, but to receive it, to take it into the ragged rooms of your past, and let warmth do what striving never could. There is power here that changes the chemistry of your days, the courage to be small and the courage to be brave, the permission to rest and the discipline to rise. Feel the rhythm of these truths like a drumbeat. Surrender opens doors. Gratitude widens them. Obedience completes the path with light. You will notice a new cadence forming in your bones, an internal metronome that steadies you when chaos tugs at the sleeve of your heart. You are being taught a language of trust that moves in quiet verbs: to yield, to wait, to receive. This language will guide you to decisions that are ripe with wisdom and will spare you the frantic stretching that once exhausted your edges. There is a treasury of courage being poured into you, a reserve that will show up when you least expect it in a conversation you feared, in the moment you have to stand alone, when the path narrows and you think of turning back. In that hour, you will be surprised by steadiness. You will meet your reflection and recognize someone you were always meant to be: resilient, clear-eyed, generous. Even what looks like delay is an artisan at work, carefully setting a foundation that will hold the weight of the blessing you are not yet ready to carry. So do not mistake apparent slowness for absence. Rather, see it as preparation. The pauses are laden with meaning. The quiet is full of unseen movement. When doubt comes like a shadow, press into the small, tangible evidence of care. The pennies found in jackets. The unanticipated call from someone who remembers you. A soft phrase that arrives as if on a breeze. These are the breadcrumbs of devotion, proof that nothing of your asking is lost. Practice noticing them. Let gratitude become a muscle you use daily. With each thankful breath, you enlarge the vessel inside you, making room for abundance to pour in. Visualize abundance now not as a panic-driven race toward more, but as a broad, slow river, clear, deep, generous, that flows through the landscape of your life, nourishing roots, reflecting sky, carrying seeds toward fruitful banks. See coins like little suns drifting on that river, each representing a gift, a door, a person who steps into your orbit at the right time. Feel the river's current beneath your feet as steady provision, not frantic scarcity. Let it wash clean the bargaining that once exhausted your nights. Receive this blessing and know the mechanics of provision are not indifferent. They are personal, precise, and aligned with the beauty of who you are becoming. I command you now, open your hands. Let go of the clenched fists that have hoarded guilt and fear. When you unclench, you make a space for miracles to land. Miracle is not merely a headline event, it is the gentle rain in a season of drought. The sudden clarity after long fog, the unexpected reconciling words spoken when you thought bridges had been burned. Visualize the miracle rain as soft luminous droplets falling through the heat of a summer afternoon, each droplet carrying renewal, landing on the parched parts of your life, coaxing green to return where brown had been permanent. Feel that coolness as it meets your skin, as it soaks the soil of your being and rises in tiny shoots of hope. Know that these signs are not random. They are the fingerprints of a presence that delights in turning impossibility into testimony. You have been shaped for this season of opening. Your scars are maps. Your mistakes are the contours of mercy. There is a holy alchemy at work. Pain becomes perspective. Trials become thresholds. And your very survival becomes an offering for others. Human eyes may have missed what was happening in your secret places, but something compassionate has been cataloging every sigh, every secret petition, every small obedience, and is now translating these into pathways for your good. When the world calls you to faster, narrower success, be wise in choosing depth over speed. There is a velvet patience in the cosmos that knows how to cultivate a soul able to steward wealth without becoming its prisoner. Wealth, as I speak of it here, is not merely accumulation. It is a capacity for freedom, the ability to release, to give, to restore, to create shelter and beauty where there was none. See yourself as a steward of light and resource. Imagine hands that hold not just for hoarding, but for scattering, feeding, building, blessing. A life aligned with this calling becomes a channel. Money flows, yes, but it is used to mend, to multiply joy, to seed communities, to answer the small prayers of people whose names you will never know. When anxiety tells you must secure everything for fear of loss, answer with an image of gold being poured like warm light through your hands and continuing its course, finding purpose beyond your fingertips. Trust the flow. Trust the timing. There will be moments of testing in which old instincts, fear, hoarding, comparison will murmur for attention. Hold them up to the light and see them for what they are. Distractions that do not serve the heart that has been carved by grace. Choose instead the posture of generosity. Watch how the atmosphere shifts when you make that choice. Wealth will not merely be a solitary trophy, but a river that creates habitable shores for others. Many of you have practiced the art of silent endurance. You have carried burdens as if they were your identity, wearing them like an old, familiar coat. Yet that coat was never meant to be permanent. It was a covering to get you through a winter, not the uniform of your life. Feel the heat of the room change as you peel it away. There is a new wardrobe awaiting, garments stitched with courage, embroidered with mercy, tailored for a life that moves with compassion and clear intention. Let forgiveness be your tailor. Where regret gnawed at the hem of your days, forgiveness will sew a running stitch of dignity and open space to breathe again. Do not be afraid of tenderness. It is the scaffolding of strength. In the stillness, taste how gentleness fortifies you more than relentless self-demand ever could. You are learning a different scripture now, one written in the body, in the way you place your hands on another's shoulder, in the way you choose to speak truth in love rather than in fear. There will be times in the coming days when you will be tempted to measure progress by public applause. Resist that measure. True advancement often arrives quietly. A healed conversation, a debt repaid, a sleeping child who knows warmth, a reconciliation that hums like a new dawn. These are the markers of kingdom work, subtle but enduring. Keep faith with the small, consistent acts. They are the mortar for the great structures that will follow. I tell you plainly, your waiting is not wasted. The space between the asking and the receiving is the sanctifying ground where patience is kneaded into the bread of your strength. In the crucible of waiting, old things are refined and impurities fall away. If you can tolerate the tension without collapsing into panic, you will discover that endurance yields a clarity that sudden success never could provide. You will stand steadier because you have been tempered. There is a company of souls walking near you, some seen, many unseen, who carry the same scars and the same quiet resolve. You are not alone, even when isolation seemed like your only companion. When you awaken in the middle of the night with questions that have no easy answers, breathe and remember. A presence is with you that counts even the small, inaudible prayers and turns them into the scaffolding for your future. Lean into that presence. Invite it to sit with your questions without needing to offer immediate solutions. This posture of honest petition is not weakness. It is the portal through which humility enters and makes room for grace to operate. Now, hear me issue another command, not as force, but as liberation. Step forward. Do not wait for your courage to be complete. Step with what you have. Each step makes the next one more possible. As you do, notice how the world rearranges itself in response to your obedience. Doors you did not see before will find you. Allies will appear whose timing feels impossibly precise. And the small miracles that compound into major turning points will begin to unfold. Visualize the opening gates once again, but this time see them swinging wide into a horizon that glitters like a field of mica. every piece reflecting a possibility you had not dared to name. Walk through with steady feet and a soft heart, for both are required. Feet to move, heart to receive. Imagine a house of abundance being built in your life, not as a solitary monument but as a hospitable place. Rooms for joy, corners for quiet, tables large enough for company, a hearth that burns with gratitude. This house is anchored by values: humility, generosity, faithfulness, and discipline of daily gratitude. These are the pillars that will ensure whatever blessing arrives will be held with wisdom and poured out with integrity. In practical terms, begin to recognize the small, faithful rhythms that invite provision: tending what you have been given, showing up consistently, choosing relationships that nurture rather than deplete, and stewarding time and resources with the intention of legacy, not only comfort. When you find your chest tightening with worry about outcomes, return to the image of that river of light flowing through you and offering rest. Allow your awareness to settle on your breathing and say quietly these affirmations, not as magical incantations, but as truths to root in your marrow. I am being held. I am becoming. I am chosen. I am provided for. I am loved without measure. I am free to give. I am made new. Let each sentence be a pebble dropped into your inner well, ripples expanding, altering the surface of your expectation. Hold these sentences against your days like a shield. Let them redirect the anxious narrative that sometimes took residence in your mind. You are being remade, not by your own relentless striving, but through a kind, steady work that delights in the smallest of your faithful moments. Do not be ashamed of slow growth. The tallest trees grew from patient roots. There will be moments when you will be called to forgive, not because the offenses were small, but because you choose freedom over festering. Forgiveness is not an erasure of wrong. It is a pathway to liberation, a handing back of power to the one who can redeem every fracture. When you forgive, you do not minimize what was done. You refuse to be defined by it. This act will astonish you by how much space it opens inside you. As days fold into weeks, watch for the small confirmations that say, "I am near." A phrase that cuts through confusion. A face in a crowd that becomes a companion. A bill paid in an unexpected way. A door opening a bit wider than you had expected. These confirmations will arrive gentle as birdsong, unmistakable because they calm your spirit at the exact moment anxiety would otherwise rise. Receive them. Rejoice in them quietly. Let gratitude be your everyday garment. In seasons of scarcity, hunger, or fear, remember that the presence at your center is not a plan B. It is the source of all resilience, and you are never further from it than your next breath. Allow this truth to land in the quiet places of your being and let it transform the way you move. Your life is an unfolding narrative of restoration, and you are being called to steward that narrative with courage, tenderness, and faith. Keep walking. Keep offering what you have, even when it feels small. Keep saying yes to the small invitations of kindness. Keep the channels of giving open. Keep leaning into stillness and listening for the soft urgings of guidance. There is a harvest ahead larger than you yet imagine, and you will recognize it because peace will be its signature. Now, close your eyes if you are able. Place a hand over your heart, feel the steady rhythm there, and in this sealed, warm place receive once more this final, tender decree. You are held. You are known. You are chosen. You are loved. You are being prepared for a life of abundance, not simply for yourself, but for many. Breathe in that promise. Breathe out any residue of fear. Live from this center and let the world be changed by the quiet, persistent force of your restored soul. I am with you. I will not leave. I will not fail. I will move in ways gentle and unmistakable. I am for you, and now in the hush of your chest, say it with me and let it settle like a benediction. I am ready to receive. I am chosen for abundance. I am guided by light. I am one with divine love. I am free. I am blessed. Come closer, beloved, because what's opening before you now is a brand new path. One that wipes the old markings clean and lets my hands draw something entirely new across the canvas of your life. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it like a quiet ocean rising inside you, dark and shimmering, carrying away the weight you've been holding far too long. Every wave that touches you steals a little more fear, a little more exhaustion, and washes it into nothing. And when you reach into that inner water, golden seeds cling to your palms. Seeds of possibility, seeds of courage, seeds designed to grow exactly where you once felt barren. Now stand up gently within your own day. With every step you take, feel the floor remembering you, grounding you, strengthening you. I am preparing you, not for confusion, but for responsibility. The kind that awakens your deeper self. The kind that shows you the light you forgot you carried. Where chaos once made noise, a new music is beginning. Steady and low, like a distant drum keeping time with your spirit. Open those windows you've kept shut for too long. Let the air of this moment move around you, fresh and sure, carrying direction that doesn't come from a map, but from your own longing to live differently. Picture yourself stepping into an unfinished room, a quiet space waiting for new purpose, and feel my touch guiding your hands, teaching you to build again with compassion, patience, and wisdom. Every small thing you shape with love will return as blessing, multiplied and glowing. A new foundation is forming beneath your feet, not cold stone, but fine, bright lines of gold, pointing you toward the strength you'll need when storms try to rise again. These lines remind you that your value was never measured by the world's standards, but by the depth of my gaze upon you. Walk into this new rhythm, where mornings aren't battles to survive, but invitations to faith, real faith. The kind that grows from small, honest choices. A whispered thank you, a sincere apology, a quiet act of kindness that only heaven sees. Listen to me closely now. Use what you have with intention and love. That's not pressure, it's freedom. Freedom to light your own inner lantern and walk boldly, even when the night seems thick. Wealth and miracles will meet you differently now, not in the form of overwhelming signs, but in the precision of perfect timing. Support arriving exactly when you need it. A relationship showing up just when your heart is ready. An idea landing in your mind that shifts everything forward. And remember, you're not alone in this. Every blessing carries my fingerprints. Every challenge comes with a strategy hidden inside it. Forgiveness is no longer just a word you say. It's the key that frees you from the chains you didn't realize you were dragging. When you forgive, you return your power to me, and I reshape it into strength that can rebuild entire rooms of your life. I don't beg you, I appoint you. Release the weaknesses you've been gripping as if they define you. Place them in my hands and watch as I transform them into the very authority you'll use to help others rise. Now, open your eyes again. Look at the wide field ahead of you, where the air doesn't smell like fear or competition, but like fresh possibility. Here, each step brings a new kind of courage, and every breath gives you a new choice. A choice shaped from truth, not pressure. Imagine a small bird perched on a quiet branch nearby. Watch its tiny body hold more determination than seems possible. Light wings, strong flight, small voice, long journey. This is your new pattern. And each morning, before the world reaches for you, breathe deeply and say softly, I am capable. I am open. I can create meaning with what I've been given. These aren't tests, they're anchors. They pull your spirit back into alignment and teach you how to receive without fear and give without depletion. No success can diminish your soul's worth. Real wealth is the power to heal, to give, to comfort, to build, to bring hope into places that forgot what hope felt like. When old memories try to invite fear back into your chest, remember the image of your light being carried into someone else's darkness. Feel how far a single flame can travel. That flame is who you are becoming. Now say this to your own heart with quiet authority. Walk forward now without hiding, without shrinking. Every blessing with your name on it is coming with clarity, with truth, with purpose. I am with you, with every breath, with every step, with every sunrise that paints the horizon. And when you walk into what comes next, you'll see pathways opening that reach farther than your ancestors dreamed and create shelter for the ones who will follow you. You're not stepping into your future alone. You're stepping into it appointed, strengthened, illuminated, and held.